best knock you played in your international career?
Oh, it's up there. I suppose anytime you get a few out of the middle like that, it's always nice. But we started off quite well and just got on a little bit of a roll there. So I think when you're playing on a really good surface like that, in some conditions where the ball travels quite a bit, it was nice to get a few away.
If you could cast your mind back to your first T20 100 5 years ago, when you made that and set the record, you were still kind of finding your way in the Australian side. Where do you feel you're at now, and what does this innings mean for you?
Oh, it's obviously nice to break a record, break my own record. It was, it was satisfying. I think it's something that I'll look back on when I finish playing and be really proud of. But in terms of where I see myself, I've obviously probably in the shorter formats of the game cemented my spot a little bit more over the last couple of years with some pretty consistent performances, I think. So I think that's the only difference. When I first started, I was just trying to make my way in international cricket and had a day out and got lucky in England and a little bit older and a little bit wiser, and I think looking back in time will be nice.
Before you came out to England, you said you wanted to use this tour to bolster your case for an opportunity to play Test match cricket as well. Do you think over the last 3 or 4 weeks now you've made as good a case as you possibly can for that?
Oh, hard to say really. I think when I left for England, I really wanted to try and dominate and help win a series for Australia, and we didn't do that. So we're here to do that this time, and it's something that we obviously come here to do, is win the Tri Series and keep the really good momentum we've had in T20 cricket over the last little while. So I think in terms of Test cricket, that'll take care of itself if I keep scoring runs.
Firstly, congratulations on the record-breaking performance.
Thank you.
There's now 2 resounding wins in a row. What do you think that does for the mood in the camp? Are you worried about any complacency creeping in?
In terms of complacency, absolutely not. I think the one thing we wanted to do today was really back up what we did the other day or yesterday against Pakistan. We started off really well with the ball and got the job done nicely with the bat. So our main aim today was to continue our momentum and make sure that we kept doing the basics really well. I think the one part we probably let ourselves down recently is we're just not doing the basics well enough for long enough. So there was still some improvement that could have been had today. I thought we were quite sloppy in the field at times. I thought there was an opportunity to bowl a little bit tighter at times. I know that they come hard and they played well at the top of the innings. Solly got off to a fly, but I thought that we could have bowled a few more good balls and made him hit us off a good length. So there's still some room for improvement, but in terms of complacency, I don't think so at all.
Did the keeper tell you to kick your stumps over? Because that was the only way that they were going to get you out, and it happened. So can you talk us through the dismissal?
I thought he was going to go wide slower ball, so I got back and I realised the handle's a touch wide, so I actually went to let it go and probably just didn't realise how far back on my stumps I'd got. So disappointing, but it would have been nice to be not out at the end.
You entertain the crowd, but managed to win over. There's a lot of supporters with going to show it. I mean, how did you feel after everybody? I mean, just give there's an motivation and also cheered the success that you did.
Yeah, it was nice. This is my 5th time here to Harare, and down in that far pocket, down over long off, there's always a good crowd and some really good support for whoever plays well on the day. If it's a Zimbabwean batter, Australian bowler, whatever it might be, they always love supporting them. So it's nice to get them on side. They're great fun down in the crowd. They're always dancing and having fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
On 100. Please comment on the East Index performance today. Yesterday he blew the Pakistani order away, and then today just the 1 wicket.
Yeah.
Bit of fist or famine type of performance.
I think that at the start he probably just bowled a touch wide, which allowed the openers to get their hands through the ball, and when the guy's bowling that fast and that kind of length, the ball does travel. It's not a guy who when they miss hit it goes for 1. It generally flies off and goes for a boundary or a 6 at times. So I think you expect that at times, that it's going to be some high runs, but also the risk there. If they're playing good shots off good balls, I think the risk reward is so much in our favour. So, I mean, like I said, a little bit wide early on, but I'm not too concerned about that, to be honest. He bowled beautifully yesterday. The wicket was probably just a little bit slower today as well, which allowed them to give themselves a touch more room. So he'll be back next game, no doubt.
We've had 3 days of one-sided matches, essentially. Tomorrow, for Pakistan, rather the day after tomorrow, Pakistan, that's your next match. Do you expect them to, or rather, what are your game plans, especially given the fact that they also have that #1 position at stake? And are you worried that, for example, if the top order doesn't kick as much as it has right now, you might be a little bit exposed?
I don't think so. The guys have been training very hard. They're out there now, the guys who haven't had much of a hit and training very hard. Obviously, you can't replicate match conditions, but they're still getting as much work in as they possibly can. So I'm not too concerned about that. In terms of Pakistan, we know they're a world-class side. They're #1 for a reason. They've got a lot of skill with the bat. They've got a lot of different options with the ball. Left arm quick, right arm quick, off spin, leg spin, left arm orthodox. So they've got a lot of bases covered. So you have to turn up each and every day and be on 100% against them. Otherwise, they will hurt you.
You've got 13 international centuries now. Limited over centuries. No players got more without playing Test cricket. Knowing that stat, is that a little bit frustrating that you haven't played Test cricket? You averaged 50 over the last 2 years in red ball cricket. So can you talk about maybe Test cricket? And are you frustrated that you haven't pitched yet?
No, I'm not frustrated. I think when I was a little bit younger, I had an opportunity to really start pushing my case for a few years, and I had probably 18 to 24 months of really lean 4-day or any red ball cricket, to be honest. I was playing good one-day cricket for Australia and just couldn't put the runs on the board in 4-day cricket. So that was disappointing, and I've slowly started to build my red ball game up again, and it's a part of. I feel a lot more comfortable playing it now. I play my natural game, ultra aggressive in whether I'm playing in Australia or in England. So, am I frustrated? No, not at all. I've got myself to blame for that, but I feel as though over the last couple of years I've adapted my game and I'm in a much better position than I was a few years ago.
Just following up on that question, so does that mean you can't wait to get over and play for Surrey, make a truckload of runs in red ball cricket? That must be a great set to take the storm over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Surrey's a place I love playing there. It's a great club to play for. The middle of London in the middle of summer. It's a pretty good place to be. Pretty good. Well, it's an amazing place to play cricket, the Oval. So the plan is to get over there after this series, hopefully winning this series, and really get over there and try and pile on as many runs as possible.
And just in terms of the camp at the moment, everything went down earlier in the year, under a lot of pressure in the UK when you got there and didn't play so well. Do you feel like the team's kind of got its mojo back in the last couple of days, and you feel like you're in a much better place as a squad and enjoying the trip to Zimbabwe accordingly?
Oh, we enjoyed our trip to the UK. Obviously, the results were horrendous for us. We lost all 6 games, but we couldn't question how we trained or the intensity that we trained at. So I think when you get a bit of an inexperienced group together and you get on the back foot early in a tournament style like that, you're chasing your tail for a long time, and England just did not let up. They didn't give us a sniff to get back into the series at all. So I think that's the quality side that they are at the moment. So the mood in the camp has always been really positive, and I think coming here, we've brought that confidence that we had, and the probably a little bit more self-belief coming to a new tournament against 2 sides that we haven't played for quite a while, compared to a team that dominated us last summer in Australia and did so again. So I think it just a bit of new opposition, new environment has made a world of difference so far.